Hey everyone, it's masterbrendan. Welcome back to my channel. Today I thought it'd be cool to list my top 10 favourite cartoons of all time from my childhood. These are from, I'd say, 2010 and back. It'll probably be even more back than that. So, we're gonna get started. The first one on my list, I just have to say, probably already guessed it already, is Pokemon. And I don't remember when I started getting really interested into Pokemon, but I think from maybe 3 or 4 years old, I really got into it. I've always liked the anime, and of course I didn't know it was anime, like Japanese animation, but I think what I really liked about it was all the Pokemon, I guess, in the show, and also the quest that Ash goes on in the TV show. I think that's why I really liked it, and it's really stuck with me for all these years. For number 2, it sort of carries on from Pokemon because I think because I don't quite remember, but I needed a substitute for Pokemon. So a season ends and you sort of have this withdrawal period where you want to watch something similar, and that's where Digimon came in, and I really liked Digimon as well, just for the same facts as Pokemon, I think. But even now I still think Pokemon's better. Just saying, sorry. And of course with Pokemon and Digimon comes Yu-Gi-Oh! So what I really liked was actually how it's a card game, and I know I had Pokemon cards before I even had Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, but the way they play Yu-Gi-Oh! So fun. I immediately got hooked, and it wasn't just about anime. Of course the anime characters were really great, but I also really liked the card game, and I think that's why I like the anime even more, because it was really fun to just watch them play Yu-Gi-Oh! Basically, and also I really liked playing Yu-Gi-Oh! As well. And the next one, this one's more later down in my life, but Ben 10. I didn't really think that I really liked Ben 10, but I actually really do, even now. And I'm not talking about the new Ben 10, but of course the original Ben 10, Ben 10 Alien Force, Ultimate Alien, I think. As the series went on, I don't really watch anymore, but back then I really liked the show, I think because he could turn into all these different aliens, and also because there was so much action, and also it was a really interesting way they animated it. And the next one, no one can forget The Simpsons. Has been showing ever since I was born, I think. I watched it so much that once an episode played for like a minute, I immediately knew what episode it was about, and all the things that were gonna happen in the episode, I already knew. It played 7 o'clock until Cable Live came and ruined it all, and they changed it to 5 o'clock. I don't know if it's just because I kept watching it as a child, but there's just something about The Simpsons that I really like. But I haven't been watching the newer seasons, but I really need to. Okay, the next one, it's about babies, it's Rugrats. What I really liked about Rugrats was that it's about babies who can talk. You wouldn't think about it, but babies who can talk, wow. I watched quite a lot of Rugrats. I remember it played 3 o'clock every day for quite a long time, and I have now bought all the DVDs so that I can watch it myself. But yeah, I don't know why I like Rugrats so much, but I think it's just because it's about babies going on to adventures and them using their imaginations basically. I think that's why I liked it so much. And the next one, which some people rebut and say it's not a cartoon, but still, it's a cartoon, and that is Avatar: The Last Airbender. And the reason I say this is I started watching it when it started coming out, maybe like 2005 or something. I immediately got hooked with it. It was so interesting. Asian culture in a like a westernized place, Nickelodeon. Yeah, what I liked about it was all the awesome martial arts sort of stuff with bending. It's really interesting how they did it. It's like one of my top cartoons of all time. I used to watch Avatar at least once every month or two. That was seriously how hooked I was on Avatar. So now, I sort of stopped watching Avatar now. The last time I watched it was last year. The most I watched it was 2 or 3 times in 1 month. And when I say I watched it, I mean I watched the whole season. Isn't that crazy? I remember I finished watching it, and then 2 weeks later I was like, oh, I feel like watching it again, and then I watched it again. But there's something that I have to say about Avatar, and that is in the first season, the frog episode where Katara and Sokka, they get sick and Aang gets captured. He needs to grab the frozen frog so that Katara and Sokka can suck on them. I really hated that episode. The reason being is because after that episode, the TV network just cut cut the show right there, and it was so annoying because I wanted to know what happened afterwards. That's why I had that episode. And also season 2, the episode where they go to the library in the desert. Is it the hidden library? And that was always the last episode that they played, and then they cut to some other show. Oh, it was so annoying. That's what I remember anyway. Let's move on. Number 8. You may not be guessing it, but I really liked Recess. I don't know if it was because it was on a school sort of setting. I really liked it. That kid TJ, I really wanted his jacket. I rewatched the whole series maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, but I really can't remember what happened anymore, so I need to watch it again. But I know I still really like it because it's about kids getting up to no good, doing something anyway, but I really liked it. Next one, Codename Kids Next Door. I really like that TV show as well because it's about kids fighting stuff with their strange guns and strange weapons. When I was younger, I used to imagine me being one of those kids in Codename Kids Next Door and thinking like, oh my gosh, what happens when I turn 13? I'm not gonna remember being a kid anymore. I'm gonna turn into one of those teenagers when I'm older. I'm like, oh my gosh, no. Really like that one so much, I think because of all the action and stuff. And the last one I need to mention, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and seriously, that one was so cool. I thought, man, turtles fighting ninjas, you know, all these awesome moves. It was really great. And when I'm talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I'm talking about the 2003 series by 4Kids. Seriously, that series was so good. But I only watched until season 3, I think. That's all they showed on TV. It was something different that you don't normally see on TV. That's my top 10 list of cartoons that I really liked as a child. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you like stuff like this, then you can go and comment down below and let me know. Or also future video ideas that you'd like me to do. Don't forget to check out my other channels, MBXD and Yesh, and also don't forget to subscribe, and I guess I'll see you guys next time in my next video. See ya, bye.